So Linda, regarding the Women's Day and the International Women's Day, we have talked broadly about your role here in the San Lorenzo Community Center and the radio. You have played a vital role in when it comes to building what we have today, which is not only the community center, of course, but also the radio, the Caravan of Hope, and soon our streaming project, video streaming project. So with all these projects that you have helped created, what virtues do you think have been necessary to have? I mean, they are necessary to build what you have built and what we are building right now.
Well, that's a good question. And now that you're asking, I'm thinking that two of the big ones, if we're talking virtues, are patience and calmness, and perseverance, because these type of projects don't happen overnight. They take a long time, both from the original ideas and discussions, and then finding where and who to talk to about how to go about building these types of projects. And then, of course, all of the application processes, and in many cases, dead ends, incorrect information, wrong place to go, denials, repeated applications. And the reality is that you have to persevere. If these are your dreams, then you have to follow through with them. Rejection cannot deter you.
Exactly, you mentioned denials. Let me translate this first. Le preguntaba yo a Linda que cuáles eran las virtudes que debería de tener una mujer, y en general pudiéramos también un poco abrirlo a qué virtudes tiene que tener una persona que busca emprender un proyecto como el que hoy día es la Comunidad San Lorenzo y todo lo que aquí realizamos. Y ella dice, bueno, paciencia, definitivamente, calma, perseverancia. Tienes que saber quién eres, tienes que saber a quién le estás hablando, tienes que tener mucha paciencia por la cuestión de la aplicación de los procesos y resistencia a que te estén diciendo que no, a que te estén negando cosas, a que te estén pues diciendo que no, ¿no? Entonces, so what would you say to women that are listening to us right now that want to create a community that are working on this matter and maybe they feel stuck because of the rejection, for example? So what challenges do you think that they are facing right now, and what can they do to overcome them?
I think that in most cases, you're looking at people who are trying to realize their dreams, both in being able to help their community, but also in trying to do the best that they can do with, in some instances, probably not a lot of background in the field that they're going into. The truth is, you have to be able to keep knocking on doors. You have to find the right people to talk to. And that doesn't mean that you have to know somebody in a powerful place. It simply means you have to keep knocking on those doors and asking the questions of, who do I speak to? And can you tell me who it is that would be able to help me? Is it possible that you could give me a name, a number, introduce me? But it isn't a case that you have to be the person who either knows it all or has good connections, because the reality is, especially in the smaller organizations, you may not have any, but you do have the voice, and it's using your voice to ask the questions. And always, I must say this, always be polite. People do not tend to respond if you are trying to push your way into something that you don't have the background for. But they do respond if you're polite, and that doesn't matter what gender you are. It's very simply that it will get you farther.
Exactly. Le preguntaba a Linda que qué le diría a las mujeres que están buscando crear comunidad y qué retos están encontrando y cómo pueden superar esos retos. Y ella decía, bueno, primero, hay muchas mujeres que sí, que efectivamente están soñando con crear comunidad, pero no tienen alguna, digamos, background, no tienen un background en ese campo, y de pronto eso se puede complicar. Pero dice, aquí la clave está en continuar y todo el tiempo tocar puertas y puertas y puertas, hacer las preguntas de a quién debo de conocer, cómo puedo hacerle, tocar puertas constantemente. Y dice, es imposible saberlo todo, pero al final todo se trata de las conexiones que haces y las relaciones que vas desarrollando. Y dice, bueno, también recomendaría que fueras amable, siempre sea amable, porque al final dice, y eso no importa quién seas, si eres amable siempre vas a encontrar a alguien que te responda. And yes, in these 20 plus years that you have been leading the San Lorenzo community projects and in close contact with Latin women, immigrants, of course, according to your experience, how has the role of Latin women and maybe the women here in the San Lorenzo community have developed? Do you think that it has changed over time, our role here?
I think, yes, I would definitely say the role of women from Latin America at our center has become much more established and much more, I'm going to use the word reliable, but I'm thinking in the sense that it's the women who are the ones who take up all of the roles in being able to enact any of our projects. And it's the women who are able to realize what we have envisioned and have been able to put together through hard work the projects. And as you know, we do many solidarity movements. And when those movements and engagements, events, etc., start, the ideas always come from listening to what's happening in the world, trying to see where we can make the best difference. And then it's our main volunteers who have been the ones who enact these particular projects. And it's almost always women.
I am thinking about mamitas. Las mamitas are always with us. They are always helping us out and with everything, even food, everything, right? So that they are like a great example, I guess, right?
Yes, the women that are labeled endearly the mamitas are really women who have that strength. They have the history of coming from a background that has faced tremendous hardship, and they know what it means to be able to be without, and they know what it means to be in a position that you can do whatever you can do to help others who are struggling and in positions that they, through no fault of their own, need assistance with.
Exactly. Le preguntaba a Linda que en estos 20 años de experiencia, que ella ha estado en contacto constante con las mujeres latinoamericanas, inmigrantes aquí, con todas las mujeres de nuestra comunidad San Lorenzo, ¿cómo se ha ido desarrollando el rol que ellas han jugado durante el tiempo? ¿Se ha cambiado? Y justamente ella decía que sí, ella podría decir que se han vuelto como más establecidas, se han establecido más y son confiables, y dice esto en el sentido de que muchos de los proyectos que nosotros tenemos en mente requieren obviamente de un gran trabajo y la solidaridad y de tener ideas, y justamente eso se puede lograr y se puede materializar cuando contamos con voluntarios como los que tenemos, que son justamente las mujeres. Y hablábamos entonces de las mamitas y decía, bueno, las mamitas a las que llamamos así por cariño, por supuesto, dice, ellas son una muestra de la prueba, ellas son una muestra de la fuerza que representa el venir de experiencias sumamente complicadas, sumamente dolorosas, empezar desde cero, y saben el significado también o la relevancia que tiene el ayudar a los demás. So what would you say is the next step for the San Lorenzo Community Center, and I mean the San Lorenzo community in general, our projects, to keep empowering and supporting women, and also, I mean, using them as a way to spread the word and spread the support to our people?
Well, I'll give you an example. You yourself are in a very key role in the center in terms of the radio station, being one of the voices who are representing the radio and are a woman. And of course, our afternoon host as well, Marcela Flores, is also in a key role. I would say that women in general in our community center are all in roles, volunteer or otherwise, that allow the center to not just survive, but function and move forward. We are moving towards a video television channel, and that also is being organized by a woman, Daniela Leon. And all of these is, we know that our main founder, Father Hernan Astudillo, is one of our key movers and shakers, but as a collaborative group, everyone does discuss what should happen in order to realize these new visions, and all of the people working together have been able to make them materialize. So the women that we are talking about are, bottom line, our foundation, our basement, our solid foundation that we build upon. And it is through them, and of course, the men that are also involved, but women play a key role, and the Latin American women are certainly women, just as in all women around the world, who are very, very resilient and also hardworking and follow through on what they are starting.
Le preguntaba a Linda acerca de cuáles son los siguientes pasos y cómo es que en esta comunidad las mujeres pues están colaborando y cuál es el papel de nosotras aquí en esta comunidad en particular que ella dirige. Y bueno, ella hablaba por supuesto de todas las mujeres que formamos parte de la radio y del equipo de la radio, Marcela Flores, Daniela León, mi persona por supuesto, y bueno, todos obviamente trabajando en colaboración con todo el demás equipo, bajo por supuesto con el padre Hernán y bueno, todos los demás, pero al final dice, nosotras las mujeres en esta organización estamos en papeles clave y nos hemos convertido en un equipo confiable al final que está llevando en que todo esto se pueda desarrollar y próximamente tendremos los siguientes proyectos que estamos preparando como justamente esta video transmisión, esta transmisión también en video. So Linda, thank you so much for this interview, for this conversation. It's always a pleasure and let's keep working on this.
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvia, and happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.